Right now, everybody's worried about getting a job of some sort or
Right.
making sure they have their own. But imagine having your dream job and getting paid to do what you actually love doing, which is kind of what we sometimes think we get to do.
Yeah, we get paid for doing what we love to do, but it's not something that everybody in the workforce gets to do. And now you have this big recession, and people are trying to figure out, reevaluating
Right.
what they do, how to make money doing what you like. Gary Vaynerchuk's his glass is half full. He grew his love for wine into a booming business. He's the host of WineLibraryTV.com and the author of the forthcoming book, Crush It! Turn your passion into profit in a digital world.
And by the way, you got a book deal for 10 books with Harper Studio. Tell us what we're talking about here. How does a guy?
And you have 145. How many people follow you on Twitter?
350,000.
Oh my
Wow.
God. So
Why?
people
What are you
listen to
doing?
you. You are
I'm
telling people
phenomenal.
something that they
we
want.
could start with that.
You are phenomenal. You are by definition a phenomenon. What exactly is going on here? Why are people following you? What are you telling them?
I care. And see, what people need to understand is the way we communicate today is so different.
Yeah.
And the platforms have been redefined. You know, I was a wine shop owner in New Jersey, had a passion about wine, took a camera, started putting it out there, and just put it out there and just hustled, worked every day, answered every email, and sort of
Which initially were wine questions about wine.
Absolutely. The first 2 years, I didn't really play my business card until like late 07 about how I did it. Everybody just thought I was crazy and ate dirt with Conan O'Brien, and that's how it happened. But at the end of the day, what I realized, what I saw in late 05 was that the world completely changed. Marketing has changed, business has changed, personal brand has changed. It's a two-way conversation now, Ali. You know, it's not just we dictate. People want to interact, and I interact a lot.
And you're on the leading edge of that. You're on the leading edge talking back to people. People are getting through the traditional forms of media because they want to get the information that they want, and you're giving it to them.
No question. People want to, touch and feel their brands, their celebrities, their products. You know, you think it's hard explaining Twitter today? I've been using this since 06.
Wow.
So,
okay, well then, can you explain it?
Yeah.
We're both on Twitter, as you are, but we don't have nearly the following that you have.
I got blasted a little bit because I don't do it as frequently as I should. If you're doing it, you're having a short conversation. It's like the running thoughts in your head to the people who want to hear what you have to say.
People have a billion different things. Here's what it really is. It's word of mouth on steroids. It's the fact that you could put something out there and the people that care about that, if it's quality, because content is always king. If it's quality, it gets expanded in so many directions. And that's the real power of it. Everybody now has a voice. It's not just certain select few.
All right, so I want to put this up on screen to show people, and this applies to entrepreneurs or big businesses. You said content is king. Create content.
Yes.
Treat Twitter as a cocktail party.
I love that. I love that.
So a lot of people are confused of how to use Facebook and Twitter and Tumblr, which is a site that a lot of people will be talking about in a couple of years. You have to treat it not as a presentation, but by working the room.
Right.
When you go to a cocktail party, Ali, you're not always talking about business.
Right.
If you're to the gardener in town, you're not pitching everybody. It may come into the conversation, but you're also talking about the Little League game, the weather, Shaquille O'Neal, whatever you're talking about. And to me, that has to translate to this. These platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, they're just a translation from the real world.
Somebody said to me, treat it like a bit of a give and take. If you were in a cocktail party and you just did all the talking and it was just a pitch and it was just all about you, people will get a sense of that. Invite others in. Retweet on Twitter, for instance, or send out on Facebook other interesting things that you learned that you thought the people who are your friends might want to know about.
You know where that started wrong? Somebody told me, just do it.
Right.
Just come from here. You come from the heart and you treat it as a real product, not like, how am I going to use this? Everybody's trying to figure out how to game it, how to use it. That's just a total wrong approach. Use it to communicate. That's what people like. Game over.
How do you turn it into something that is going to make you live your dream and make
that's,
money?
That's where it shifts. I believe everybody needs a platform, a home base. My home base lives online, yours lives on television. Whatever it is, you may be a written word, you might not be an extrovert, you might want to write. But if you put out quality content and use things like Twitter and Facebook to shake people's hand, to bring them to your content, all of a sudden you have eyeballs. Let's be very honest. The confusion of how Twitter or Facebook are going to make money is silliness.
Right.
If you don't understand that eyeballs turns into cash, then you don't understand business.
God, if every major business should be running around trying to find people like you so that they can figure out how to reach out, I mean, maybe that's a business opportunity for a lot of people.
Here's my question. How far does this conversation go? This is a very interesting conversation. You're going to write 10 books.
Yeah.
How far do you go in to
Well,
be
I'm
able
going
to
to
help
crush
people
it so
do this?
big on the first book, the other 9 won't really matter.
Won't matter.
No, but here's what it is, Alec. Here's what really is the shift. Nobody can wrap their head around, traditional people
Yeah.
that have been in business for a long time, whether personal brands or products, can't wrap their head around the fact that they don't control the message of the brand anymore. Ali, your fans control the message.
right.
They're the ones talking about it, and the way you respond to them is the game, not what you tell them.
So what does that mean? Does that mean that the idea is you're listening as much as you're feeding out there?
No, the idea is you're listening all the time. You listen. That's the game. Everybody wants to talk, but it's about listening. It's about caring, and most of all, you have to have the chops. If I didn't know anything about wine, it wouldn't matter if I knew how to leverage all this, because when they watched a show or two, they're like, that guy's full of crap.
So
and
you've
I'd be
got to
in.
leverage
And that's where you know
something
what
you're
you
good at.
know and you love
Yeah.
and what you're good at.
And that's where
right.
it gets really interesting. If you're working a 9 to 5, and really where the book's going is, those after hours, start talking about gardening, or if you love, curling, I don't know, whatever your passion is, talk about that. Live in the communities that talk about it. Use search.twitter to find people talking about it and really get in there.
And one thing we know is these niche, all this technology brings all of the niche people together so that you find that there might be just a few people who like what you like.
But you can
then
find
if
them,
you,
and you can have a conversation.
find
There
them-
are millions of people out there that love the Smurfs.
Right.
I mean, you could make $70,000 a year talking about the Smurfs. That's the world we live in, Ali. That's the world we live in, my man. So, I mean, to me, that's fascinating and exciting.
But the reality is here, you are talking, whether it's Smurfs or it's wine or it's gardening or it's curling, you're talking about things that are hobbies that may not have paid you anything in the past, but that you can now find an interested group. Make the connection for
I'll
me
make
as
the
to how
connection.
I make money on this.
If I am talking about cereal, and I review cereal every single day, and 45,000 people a day start watching that because the content is good, it's silly, it's interesting, it goes viral, well, let me promise you something. If you don't think every cereal producer in the world is going to start sending you emails, I get emails now from every glass maker, from I'm getting offered thousands of dollars a week to put a bottled water on my table, product placement. Everything that's relevant in movies and television is relevant online, because if you can get the eyeballs, and the only way you can do that is to have a lot of passion and chops for that subject matter. But even cereal, somebody's going to want to monetize.
Wow, that's really
that's
incredible
interesting.
stuff. How do you make? How do
I need the show to end right now so I can go and start getting online and doing all this stuff.
I know, it's incredible. What about for the kids who are graduating from college right now? I mean, and
Lucky.
So lucky.
So
They're
lucky. Lucky.
Why?
Because they're not going to go to like standard, square jobs. They're going to have to hustle. This conversation is starting. You're putting me on this platform. A lot of people are going to see it, and they're going to realize, oh my God, I can really talk about hip hop, and if I'm good at it, and if I hustle. Listen, I preach an exciting thing, but make no mistake about it. This is a lot of work. I mean, I spent 7, 8, 9 hours a day answering emails, going into wine communities, becoming part of the conversation. But if you do that, and you've got some skills and knowledge, you absolutely have an opportunity to monetize. And a lot of kids aren't going to get jobs. They're going to have no alternatives. They're going to do this. They already kind of know how to use Facebook and Twitter, and they've got an amazing opportunity.
What is this
I'm
ride,
jealous.
What has this ride been like for you, from going from a wine guy in New Jersey to now kind of, a leading edge thinker on content and business
As he
development?
said, a phenomenon.
I want to buy the New York Jets.
Nice,
So I don't really think about what's happening right now. I think about where I'm going. And by the way, that's a big factor in all this. It's not about what's happening right now. Twitter and Facebook are tools. Twitter and Facebook are markers and crayons.
Right.
They're a fax machine. It's the fact that we're changing, and the platform, the internet that we know is 14 years old.
Right.
People are underestimating how powerful the global platform is.
This is fantastic.
Thank
this
you.
Is very exciting. And when you're out tweeting, just ask a few people to join us.
You got
as
it.
well. You and I are going to have to kick it up on
I
Twitter.
know. Well, wait. Okay.
I
So
mean,
tell,
I'm embarrassed after
tell
this.
us how to kick it up a little
What
bit.
do we
because-
tweet? Okay, after this discussion, we're going to go and tweet. And what are we telling? We're telling them that you're
Once
interesting.
again, you're missing the point, and I'm not joking.
Okay.
Go to search.twitter
Yeah.
and search your names, see what people want from you, and give it to them.
All right.
They say, Ali, what's your favorite sport? Soccer. I mean, I don't know, I made that up. But you know what I mean? I mean, that's what you want.
I was waiting for a second
they
curling
don't-
joke
they
because
don't-
I'm Canadian.
They don't want you to tell them.
Right.
They want you to interact.
All right, we're going to do it. That's our work for today. We're going to be answering a lot of questions for you. Gary,
This man has changed my life.
fascinating. Thank you for being with us.
Thank
We
you.
wish you the best of luck, and we're going
Thank
to
you.
follow what you're doing. Gary Vaynerchuk is the host of WineLibraryTV.com, and he is.
It takes-
how do you get you on Twitter? Gary V. Garrvee.
Double E's.
It takes a
Double
lot to
E's.
have that many followers on Twitter, and it also takes a lot to get a 10-book deal. I mean, you're saying something that people want to hear, and so.
I have the chops. I'm not scared. I mean,
Yeah.
I really know what I'm doing. I'm consulting for a lot of Fortune 500 companies. This is not a joke. People think it's silly. People don't get it. They want to make fun of it because they don't understand. This game is changing, and if you're not on board, you're going to lose.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm convinced.
Gary V. Got it.
Thanks, Gary.
All right, babies. Babies everywhere. The worse the economy gets, frankly, the more babies. We're obsessed with the babies, the famous, and here's a twist. We're making people famous for having babies.